One of my favorite builds in this game was one that I had yet to cover on the channel aside from an axe-wielding version for Ubers. But in today's video, we are going to try out one of the overall best builds that utilizes survivability, damage, and only becomes more of a menace to literally everything that it fights, the more that his hits connect.
In today's video, I'm going to go over the build for
the Frenzy Barbarian, the build that has no chill. The more he attacks, the more ruthless and deadly he becomes.
I'm going to go over the attributes, the skill tree, the gear for my character and my mercenary, and afterwards I'm going to show you guys some gameplay so you could see this build in action. But do keep in mind that when it comes to this build, there are different ways you can be able to gear the character depending on your needs, whether you're trying to go for maximum DPS, you're trying to do a magic find character, or a hybrid of the two. Just keep in mind when it comes to looking at the gear choices that I'm going to be choosing, that you can choose alternative gear depending on the demand that you have for your build. Now let's go ahead and get into the video.
For the attributes, there's enough points put into strength to be able to equip the gear, enough points into dexterity to use the phase blade weapons that I'll go over in the gear section, and all of the remaining points go into vitality. For the skill trees, starting with the war cries, I max battle orders to boost my own and my mercenaries' survivability. I also max taunt as it synergizes frenzy. Then, moving on to the combat masteries, I maxed blade mastery, and 1 point into all of the lower skills, as all of my plus to skills gear adds additional points to benefit the build even more. And lastly, for the combat skills, I maxed both Frenzy, as it's the skill to deal damage, as well as maxing Double Swing, as it synergizes Frenzy to add even more damage to his attacks. For the gear, do keep in mind that this is a hero-edited character. All the items that you see here are not single self-found on single player offline, nor do I play online to be able to have someone assist me with helping me get these items to the showcase in this video. I wanted to put this build together myself to be able to show if it would be worth the time and the resources needed to be able to make it effective, in case anyone would be curious to be able to build this out for themselves, and also just for the spectacle of the concept itself. He is using G-Face, socketed with an IAS jewel. It has faster hit recovery, increased attack speed, deadly strike, crushing blow, and strength. The amulet and one of the rings are the angelic combo for a boost to his attack rating. The second ring is a rare dual H, dual resistance ring. The body armor is Enigma to teleport around. However, if you want to add even more damage, either Chains of Honor or Fortitude would be great alternatives. However, he will already be doing great damage as he's set up, and I prefer better movement through the larger areas, such as teleporting through the walls in the Worldstone Keep, or getting around the lava walkway leading into the Chaos Sanctuary that I otherwise would have to walk around, over dealing more damage. It also has plus to skills, faster run walk, strength, damage reduction, and life after each kill. The weapons are dual griefs, and for the sake of fairness, I have my perfectly rolled one from when I played Pluggy, paired with a completely anti-perfect one. They offer IAS, or increased attack speed, negative target defense, ignore target's defense, percent damage to demons based on character level, deadly strike, and both life and mana after each kill. The boots are Gore Riders for the deadly strike, crushing blow, open wounds, and faster run walk. The belt is String of Veers for its damage reduction and life leech. The gloves are Ling of Hands for the increased attack speed, damage to demons, and fire resistance. On Switch I have two Hodos, or Heart of the Oaks, for the resistances, faster cast rate, as well as the plus to skills to boost battle orders even more. In the inventory is the Cube, both Tomes, Torch, Annie, and all the charms are a mix of attack rating, life, resistance, or max damage. For the additional stats, he has physical damage reduction, 14% life leech, 75% increased attack speed, 555% damage to demons, and 50% deadly strike. Now that we've discussed the attributes, the skill trees, the gear for my character and my mercenary, let's go ahead and check out this build in action to see how well it actually plays out. With the gameplay, for anyone who'd be curious as to which player settings I'm using for my build guides, the past, presently on screen, and in the future, down in the bottom left corner is what the example gameplay being shown is currently at. One of the things that I love about the Frenzy Barbarian is his ability to dual wield one-hand weapons, and depending on the desires with your build, there's a lot of potential for overcoming what other builds would suffer from, especially with not needing CTA on Switch. This leaves so many different options for having different chance to cast skills with items on Switch, or possibly even weapons that could potentially slow down enemies. To give an example, adding more fun for whatever you'd want to do with the build overall.
Not enough mana. I am overburdened. overburdened.
One of the drawbacks of the Frenzy Barbarian is that, despite targeting an enemy specifically, Frenzy does end up attacking anything within melee range. Everything within striking range becomes fair game to attack. What this does is, if trying to take on an enemy first, especially for example, if it's a boss with an aura that could help take you out even faster, such as Conviction or Fanaticism, if you're swarmed, you could click on and attack the boss of the pack, but then could simultaneously be taking out the mob surrounding both of you. This could put your survivability at risk, and for those who are concerned with their clear speed, this could look as though the build is slower than you'd expect. However, with everything surrounding you getting attacked, once you see the first enemy drop, do expect the others to start dropping shortly after. This build is more of a slow burn feel when you're swarmed, but sticking through the attacks to the end, you'll see that it gets the job done all the same.
Not even death can save you from me. I am overburdened.
This build stays safe even when surrounded by mobs. It's a fun build to purposely get in the middle of herds when farming the cows, let them get close, then get the sword swinging, and watch as they all start to drop. The Frenzy Barbarian is one of my favorite builds in this game, both in farming, as well as being a great torch farmer. However, I know that many might not have the wealth to have an endgame setup, but they still want to try the Frenzy Barbarian out. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, check out my budget Frenzy Bar build guide that is budgeted, but the fun that you'd have in playing the build isn't. The video will be linked down in the description below. Also, for anyone wanting to see the endgame Frenzy Barbarian taking on the Ubers, with a build that is tweaked from this endgame setup to accommodate for Uber running, I'll have that video linked down in the description below as well, which should be live on the channel very shortly. So make sure to check it out when it goes live.
And that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and were able to see if this build would be something that you would be interested in going into the future. And if anything, at least just enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content, want to see more, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to be notified whenever a new video comes out.
Come on. Come on. Come on then. There you are. There you are.
And if you like this video, please let me know by leaving a like. It really is appreciated to be able to help my channel to grow. And if you want to see more of my Diablo 2 Resurrected content, make sure to click the card in the corner up above to check out my Diablo 2 Resurrected playlist with a lot of videos already in it, with a lot more coming in the very near future. Other than that, I hope you guys are staying safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.